Florida tower block search and rescue operation has finally ended. Firefighters say their search for bodies in the rubble of the collapsed tower ended. At least 97 people were killed when the 12-story Champlain Towers South fell in the early hours of June 24. Nobody has been pulled alive from the rubble since the first hours after the disaster.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has described the shortfall of cholera vaccines that led to cholera death toll 521. NCDC laments dearth of vaccine.
Emergency sirens sounded in the southern Russian region of Sochi overnight after rivers burst their banks in heavy rain for a second time this month and flooding closed a motorway. Earlier this month, heavy rains caused severe flooding in the same area, with roads turning into rivers for several days.
Olympics organizers said on Saturday that one more athlete at the Tokyo Games had tested positive for COVID-19.
Afghan interpreter Sohail Pardees, 32, who had worked as a translator for the United States Army for 16 months during the 20-year-long conflict, was beheaded by Taliban. Others fear they will be hunted down too.
With the last U.S. forces on the way out of Afghanistan, U.S. President Joe Biden, in a phone call assured President Ashraf Ghani of U.S. diplomatic and humanitarian support as Taliban advances piled pressure on the U.S.-backed government in Kabul. U.S. President also authorized up to $100 million from an emergency fund to meet unexpected urgent refugee needs stemming from the situation in Afghanistan, the White House said.
The Canadian government says it will fast-track resettlement of potentially thousands of Afghans who have worked with Canada to fight the Taliban over the past 20 years.
Barely 48 hours before the arrival in China of one of Biden's most trusted diplomats, Beijing has announced its decision to impose counter-sanctions on 7 American citizens and entities, including former Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, in retaliation against Washington's earlier sanctions on Chinese officials over Hong Kong crackdowns.
India-based government agency that is also believed to be a client of Israeli company NSO Group reportedly made hacking attempts on phones of over 25 Hurriyat leaders hailing from Indian-occupied Kashmir between 2017 and mid-2019. The wire was able to conduct forensic analysis on the phones of 2 Hurriyat leader Bilal Lone and the late Syed Ali Shah Gilani.
A protest has erupted at a prison in Myanmar's commercial capital of Yangon against what activists said was a worsening COVID-19 outbreak at the jail, which is used to hold opponents of February's military takeover.
Mourners and dignitaries including a U.S. delegation rushed for cover amid reports of gunfire and tear gas outside the funeral of late Haitian President Jovenel Moïse. Protesters' cries carried over religious leaders speaking at the funeral.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's main political rival Rahul Gandhi demanded an inquiry into the Pegasus spyware scandal, accusing the government of treason. Rahul said, "The Prime Minister and the Home Minister have used this weapon against the Indian state and against our institutions. The only word for this is treason, and this has to be investigated."
Amid intensified efforts by Pakistan to get the work restarted on the Desu hydropower project, Water and Power Development Authority Chairman retired LT Gen Muzammil Hussain called on Chinese ambassador and discussed the matters relating to construction of the dam. The Chinese ambassador and the WAPDA chairman, according to the handout, expressed their resolve to restart construction activities on the project soon.
Elections in Azad Jammu and Kashmir will be held tomorrow. Over 3.02 million voters are going to elect the 53-member Regional Assembly for a 5-year term in the elections scheduled on Sunday. Out of 53, there will be direct elections on 45 seats. 3 political parties PTI, PMLN, and PPP look racing neck and neck as the poll campaign ended.
PMLN leader Nawaz Sharif was met by Afghan National Security Advisor Hamdullah Mahib and State Minister for Peace Said Saadat Nadari. The officials on both sides agreed that they would both benefit from the policy of mutual respect, sources quoted. Meanwhile, Federal Minister for Information Fawad Chaudhry reacted and said that sending Nawaz out of Pakistan was dangerous because such people become accomplices in international conspiracies.
As Pakistan deals with a surge in COVID-19 cases due to the Delta variant, the Biden administration is sending 3 million doses of the Moderna coronavirus vaccine through COVAX, set to arrive in the country Sunday, foreign media reported.
Pakistan sees 32 more lives taken away by the coronavirus in the last 24 hours. 1,841 new cases were reported. The positive rate was 4.89%.
The International Monetary Fund is looking forward to continuing discussions with the Pakistani authorities on the set of policies and reforms that could form the basis for completion of the sixth review under the $6 billion extended fund facility.
Scientists have discovered previously unknown viruses dating from 15,000 years ago in ice samples taken from a glacier in the Tibetan Plateau. The team then analyzed the ice and found 33 viruses, at least 28 of which were previously unknown to science and had survived because they were frozen.